Why do you think you have been able to tap into a deeper, more relentless state of drive than anyone else?
Pain, bro, pain. Like I wanted to get out of my situation so bad. I remember when I was a young boy, I had a psychiatrist tell me that I had a problem. And he's like, look, you got a problem. You're an obsessive. You have a compulsive obsessive personality. You have ADD, ADHD, bipolar. I mean, he went down the list, bro. I heard more acronyms in 10 minutes. And I looked at the guy. I walked out of his office. I think he charged me for an hour, but it was only 50 minutes. So I knew it was a scam, and wanted to put me on meds. And I walked out of that office saying, like walking to my car saying, I am going to prove this dude so wrong. And that drive, that nasty moment of a psychiatrist who, bro, I earn what he earns in a year in a day. Okay. And I'm proud to say that. I walked out of there and said, I'm going to turn all my problems into my assets. And I believe that today. I believe if you have the propensity or the gift to be obsessed with something, to have an addictive type of personality where you drop into something and you can't quit thinking about it, these are the attributes that make successful people. Okay, unsuccessful people medicate their problems away, and the successful people lean into it. They literally figure out how to take that liability, if you will, if it is a liability, that disability, if it's a disability, and turn it into an ability and a gift.
Grant, that's really good. So in talking about that, there's two forms. There's this study done by Morton Kringelbach and Kent Berridge talking about the two different forms of motivation, one being hedonic impact of goal-directed. So you're setting your goals. That's what you're motivated for. You're talking about you had that spark from that psychiatrist that set it off. There's also the point of homeostasis, that's the need. It's threat avoidance. So there's two, goal-directed versus threat avoidance. Now, when you're talking about that, do you feel like your drive is more goal-directed, threat avoidant, or is it a mixture of both?
Yeah, it's definitely a mixture of both. So I am not pleasure-driven. I am much more, I'm trying to avoid some situation from happening to me. I actually mock these up. I also know athletes that do this at the top of the game. Michael Jordan talked about it. Kobe talked about it. LeBron talked about it. Tom Brady, I did an interview with Tom. Tom talked about, to me, creating scenarios that maybe aren't even true in order to drive an individual to a destination. And I think everybody has the ability. Like if I can put you under enough threat, you're either going to submit and ball up and become a victim, or you're going to become a fighter. Now, I've developed a fighter in me. My dad died when I was 10 years old, and my dad was a bit of a he was the example. He had been the example actually for all his brothers, his father, his grandparents. He had broken out, and when he died, when I was 10 years old, he was 52, he died. The mythology of what he had created, breaking into the middle class, being the first Cardone to do that. I watched this happen, and I watched the whole demystification of his creation, that it actually had not worked for him, because when it worked for him, but it didn't work for his wife and his kids because his income stopped. And that became a threat in the environment. Every bad thing that has ever happened to me, I'm not talking about trauma bonding here or trauma education or learning from failure, because I don't believe that that's the best way to learn. The best way to learn, my best learning comes from learning from successful actions, not unsuccessful. But I realized watching my dad, when he died, there was no income. And at 10 years old, I was getting real money lessons. And the money lessons are that if you can't work, you don't get income. And the goal in the education system is to educate us how to work, to earn income, to pay taxes, to plan for retirement, to spend money and then die. And like at 12 years old, bro, I knew, the whole thing was demystified for me at 12 or 13 years old, where I was like, oh no, you need to earn income. You don't have any of your own money. You need to get income from people. People have money, you don't. And you need to take that money and you need to put it into stations or silos or machines where you can produce income even when you're not working. Because I wanted to break the cycle of poverty. Now you're asking me, what am I driven by? I was not driven by pleasure. I was driven by, I want to avoid this mistake my dad made. I do not want this on my time frame. And all my success, in fact, my investments in real estate, I got about $5 billion invested in real estate today. It's all driven. I have no stocks today because I am driven. I do not want painful moments. I'm not interested in losses, trauma, drama, bullshit. You know, I'm proud of the number of people that we fired in our company. We get rid of a lot of people. I don't want it. I don't want losers around me. And I learned that when I was 25 years old, dude. I was a drug addict for 10 years, from 15 years old to 25. It was a terrible part of my life. And so I've been cutting stuff out since I was 25. For 41 years, I've learned how to cut out problems and get rid of stuff that might have a bad ending.